How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you deal with your insecurities? That's such a deep question. Are you a lesbian? I've gotten so many questions about this. How has your life changed being a YouTuber, social media person? Oh, this is such a good question. Do you hate men totally, or are you guys pretending to do so? What's my favorite habit? Do you still work with Ali? Hiya and welcome to 2022. I didn't know how to start the year with a video, and so I thought it would be easier to just do a Q&A together and kind of let's just answer some questions, have a nice calm chat, and think about how last year has gone and how this year is going to start, and kind of, I don't know, get a bit closer, I guess, and get to know each other a bit better. And I'm rambling already. Welcome to my painting corner. This is where I usually paint, and I don't actually film a lot of videos here, but I quite like the setup, I think. I don't know. I'll see how it looks when I edit, and potentially we can use it again in the future. Let's see. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. I have asked you all on Instagram to send in some questions if there was anything that you wanted to know. So I have basically a bunch of questions on my phone now, and I'm just going to go through as much as I can in this video, and let's just have fun, shall we? Let's do that. Okay, I'll start with Sheen, which is at the very top. What will you wear at Sheen's wedding? You know what? Sheen's wedding has been a long time coming, according to her. So I would just wear anything, whatever she wants me to wear. Apparently, black is not appropriate at a wedding, so I guess I won't be wearing my clothes. But anything that Sheen wants me, I hope it's not anything pink, because it really does not suit my hair color. But otherwise, honestly, I'd wear pink, I'd wear purple, I'd wear orange, gold, yellow, anything Sheen wants me to wear, I'm happy to wear at her wedding. What's the overarching vibe of 2022? This is a hard one. I think the overarching vibe of 2022 will be to speak my mind a bit more and lean into what I want to say, what I want to do, what I want to experience, who I want to be around, and kind of just go for things with a lot less complexes, insecurities, and issues behind them. I think that's going to be the vibe of 2022. It kind of was the vibe of end of 2021, but I think I'm just taking this more forward. The next question is, what has been the most unexpected benefit of doing YouTube? I think this might be awful, but I think an unexpected side effect of doing YouTube has been people taking me more seriously. I think I'm quite attuned to how seriously people take me or how they treat me in general, because I think having done various different jobs, especially in customer service, so when I was a waitress, I was not taken seriously, either by the customers or by the people that I worked with. In customer service, very often, people will not take you that seriously. So I think I'm very attuned to people doing that and kind of treating me less than. Even in medicine, very often I'll have a conversation with a doctor, an old male doctor for example, and they'll be looking at the guy next to me as they're talking to me. So it does happen very often that this is the case. But I think since having a YouTube channel, I think when people find out about it, they treat you slightly differently, and I don't think that's okay. I think it's awful to judge people based on their accomplishments or their gender or their age or anything like that. So I think it's very problematic, but it has changed, I think, since having a YouTube channel for me, for whatever that is worth. What's the one most important thing you can say? This is the thing that made me succeed. Luck, to be honest. I think that there are so many people who have done a lot more than me and have a lot less than me, and there are a lot of people who have done a lot less than me and have a lot more than me. So I think, in my experience in life at least, there's very little correlation between how much people work and what the results they get. So I honestly think that I just got lucky to have as much as I have. I could have been less lucky, I could have been more lucky. So yeah, I think it's mostly luck. I've done things, but there's a lot of luck there. What is your favourite book to read over and over again? Definitely Harry Potter. Does the age factor bother you in any way? The fact that you are a little older than your fellows in medicine? I'm starting medicine this year and I'm 20 now. Oh, this is such a good question. I would say before I started, I definitely thought that this had a huge effect. I was very, very scared of being older than other students. So I started medical school at 23, so I was even older than you were then, and now I'm 26 and I'm going into medical school again this year. So yes, I'll definitely be older than the people around me. I think I definitely overthought it at the beginning, and I thought, oh, how do I connect and how do I make friends because I'm so much older? And especially when I started, I remember sitting around in a lecture theatre at some point and going, oh my god, everyone is 18, and my youngest siblings were around 18 at the time, and I was thinking, oh god, I remember putting them to sleep and washing them, and this is so weird, like they're children, they're not my age. it doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't matter. I've made amazing friends in medical school. I've had a lovely time with 18-year-olds, with people who are my age, with people who are older than me. I would say, in and of itself, does it have an effect, the fact that you are older? Potentially, yes, it can have an effect, but in terms of all the things that will affect your experience of medical school, of all the factors there, your age is, at least for me, was like at the very bottom of the list of things that will affect, like the university that you'll go to and your own mental health and your studies and the people that you are surrounded by and your attitude towards things and how much you're actively engaging. That will very much influence the way that you experience medical school and the friends you make and your the things that you do there, rather than just an objective measure of your age. So I would say, yes, it does, but it really shouldn't matter. It's completely insignificant in terms of a factor, at least in my experience. Do you still work with Ali? Yes, I do still work with Ali. I was actually in a few meetings all day yesterday with Ali. So yeah, we do work together. Would you consider another profession in another field besides YouTube and medicine? YouTube is not a profession, at least not in the way that I treat it. I don't treat it as a job. I treat it more like a fun hobby / joke. I don't take it that seriously. If it was a job, I would show up every time consistently. I don't do that. I just do kind of what I like and what I enjoy on YouTube, and with a lot less seriousness than I take any of my other jobs. In terms of a professional career, I think medicine is it for me. I don't think I would have an incentive to take anything as seriously as I take medicine, just because it's kind of like life and death and it's so much more interesting than anything else for me. Having said that, I have worked, like now, for example, I'm a strategy consultant. I quite enjoy that. I enjoy consultations. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy coaching. So I think those are things that I would consider outside of medicine, but as a career. So yeah, I potentially would. What's my favorite habit? I don't think I have a lot of habits. I don't think I have habits in general. I don't like them, and I can't stick to them, so I don't think they count as habits. I would say probably my favorite one is working out, but I'm not that regular with that too, so I don't know if it counts as a habit. Do you hate men totally, or are you guys pretending to do so? Is this about me and Sheen? No, me and Sheen love men. We don't hate men at all. We very much love them. Will you do podcast season 2? Absolutely, yes. I've already, I think, picked a painting, and hopefully I'll get to start it soon. Do you keep a daily journal? No, I can't stick to daily habits, so I don't have a daily journal, and yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I used to have one in the past. So I have a few journals that I've handwritten in from years ago, which is really, really weird to read, but I don't keep a daily journal at the moment, no. How has your life changed being a YouTuber, social media person? Oh, this is such a good question. I think my personal life has probably not changed at all, because I just have a lot more wires in my room, which is very annoying from all the gear and stuff around me. That's how my personal life has changed, and maybe sometimes I'll get recognized, but that doesn't happen too often, and it's okay. I think my professional life has changed a lot because as I said earlier, I think sometimes I get taken a bit more seriously now, which is very weird because it's completely out of my control. My videos could have 0 views and it's not up to me how people treat them or what happens to them, and yet somehow I'm attributed the kind of reward for my videos performing a certain way, which I find to be very bizarre. So I think in my professional life, I've gotten roles and positions and jobs and responsibilities because of my YouTube channel that I would not have gotten otherwise. So I think that's how my life has changed because of YouTube, but yeah, in no other significant way, I think. How do you plan your days? Do you time block or do you go off a to-do list? Great question. I'm really, really, really bad at planning. And especially in the last year, it's gotten very chaotic. So before last year, so my first 3 years of medicine, I would time block my day in 15-minute increments. So every 15 minutes was planned for me to have something to do. I found that very effective, but incredibly stressful in the end of the day. And because I do have perfectionism, so I have been working on reducing that and working on improving my perfectionism. And as part of that is that I cannot track as much. So when I used to work out, for example, I used to have like spreadsheets where I would track how many reps I was doing, how many weights I was doing, every single thing that I was doing. In the past, I don't do this level of organization anymore because I can get very carried away with it to an extent that it becomes very unhealthy. So at the moment, I don't have any. I'll just have plan, for example, meetings or things that I need to physically attend, but nothing else will go in my calendar. I don't make as many to-do lists either because I can get very carried away with them and obsessive with them, which is not good. So very rarely, if I'm extremely overwhelmed, I'd say, oh God, I need to make a to-do list of things, but that will happen once in a few months. Most days I will go with what's in my memory and what I remember to do. I often forget a lot of things, so I'm definitely on the extreme now of very intuitively working and getting my tasks done, which is not the most effective thing to do, but it's the best for my mental health at the moment. And I think I'm going to start to deviate a bit more towards to-do lists and calendar blocking and things like that in the future, when I can think that I can do it safely without completely like hyper organizing my life. So I've kind of oscillated from one extreme to the other extreme, and I need to find a happy medium at some point. So yeah, I'm not in a rush for it anyway. I think my life is fine as is, either that way or this way. It's okay. So whenever I feel that it's right, I'm slowly going to ease into creating kind of new routines, I think. So yeah. When are you resuming medical school? In August. I think it starts back in August. Are you a lesbian? I've gotten so many questions about this, and a few on my YouTube channel, and definitely every time that I put these Q&As up, and usually I just ignore them in my Q&As, and I'm like, well, do I need to answer this? No, I don't need to answer this. But this time around, someone asked, is it difficult to hide the fact that you are gay? And that really got me, because people thinking that I am a lesbian or gay is fine, but people thinking that I'm homophobic really got me. I thought, wait, if I was, do you think I would be hiding it? The question is no, I'm not. I am straight, but I would not be hiding it if I was a lesbian. Not that. It's a difficult one, because I don't think I have a responsibility to state my sexual orientation online either way, but yeah, I'm straight. I think people get confused a bit with Sheen too, which is quite funny, but no, I am straight. Are you a minimalist anymore? Yeah, I am, as much as I can be. I think the gear is really ruining it for me, YouTube gear, but otherwise, yes, I am. Tell us your bucket list for 2022. I don't have one. I don't have a single item on my bucket list. I don't believe in them, so I find them very hard to do, and I find it very difficult to kind of organize my mind in that way, to think of, oh, these are the things that I want to do and the goals that I want to achieve. I'm very bad at that, so I don't have a bucket list for 2022. Most embarrassing moment of your life? This would be so hard to narrow down. I'm a very embarrassing person, like, extremely embarrassing. I think we have almost daily calls with Sheen, and there's always like 5 things I will tell her every day that I've done that are extremely embarrassing. It's mostly jokes, I think. I tend to have a very weird and sometimes inappropriate sense of humor, and I'll say a joke sometimes in a very inappropriate environment, and I'll go, oh my god, Elizabeth, you should have thought before you said that. So I think those are things that I do that are embarrassing. However, having said that, I think that I tend to find too many things embarrassing, so sometimes even speaking my mind, I think, oh my god, that was so embarrassing, but I'm leaning away from that. No more embarrassment. I think inappropriateness in the workplace is not okay, so that shouldn't be done, or inappropriateness in hospitals or things like that, that's not okay. But I think in terms of just speaking my mind one-on-one with someone, that should never be embarrassing. So I am kind of ignoring embarrassment as a feeling in 2022 as part of my kind of theme for the year, I think. What is your New Year resolution? I don't have any. Do you play video games? I used to when I was younger. I don't play video games anymore, mostly because I get quite addicted to them, and I think in terms of what I could be doing with my time, they're not the most effective thing. There are other things that I think have more value, either for me or for other people, to be doing with my time. So yeah, I don't play video games at the moment. I used to love Ratchet and Clank. So having said that, whenever I go home, I beg my brother to just set up Ratchet and Clank for me, because it gives me so many good memories, and I really like love playing that game. So it was great. What star sign are you? I don't believe in star signs in the slightest, but I am Leo, if that helps. One thing you would want to add to your life and one thing you'd want to erase. Oh, this is so hard. Can I pick people? I'm joking. One thing I would want to add to my life is maybe a bit more organization. I wish I was more focused and organized. I think my life would be a lot better then. And one thing I would want to erase from my life is, I think, a lot of my insecurities. I would want to just like get rid of those. My life would be so much easier, but I'm working on that, so hopefully we can get closer to that point. 2021 in one word. I think it was incredible. I think it was terrible in so many ways, but it was also incredible in so many ways, and I have grown in leaps and bounds in 2021. If I would have to pick one word, it would probably be Sheen, but another word would be kind of growth, and yeah, maybe that. What's your MBTI type? Oh, I have to do this video. I don't know. I have no clue. I haven't done the test yet. What are your healthy and unhealthy coping mechanisms? This is such a good question. I think my unhealthy coping mechanisms At the moment, I think I'm being quite good. I think I've been quite good for the last year, but before that, my unhealthy coping mechanisms were around food and food restriction in general. And I think my unhealthy coping mechanisms at the moment, I think I'll just shut down, but it doesn't last as long. So I'll shut down maybe for a few minutes and then I'll text either a close friend, usually Sheen, and be like, we really need to talk about something. And then I'll kind of bounce the ideas of someone in a safe space, and then I'll feel a lot better very soon. So, and I meditate quite a bit, and I very much put things in perspective. So I'm a lot better at getting over things a lot faster now. So that's my that's my healthy coping mechanisms, and my unhealthy coping mechanisms, which I'm very aware of, are just the shutting down part, which I don't tend to do for that reason. So yeah, those are my healthy and unhealthy coping mechanisms. Are you going to visit Sheen this year? Yes, I very much hope to. But I think we're definitely going to meet because she's coming to London at some point. So, and hopefully we have a few holidays planned. So definitely we'll get to see each other. Are you going to wear a bit more colour this year? Probably not. I did want to at some point, and sometimes I consider it, but it really stresses me out to wear another colour. So I feel so much more comfortable in black. And maybe if I get over that, but I'm not going to depend on it, and I'm not going to count on it. I'm not going to force myself to do it because that doesn't tend to work. Have you at any point considered permanently leaving medicine? Yes. In the end of the third year when I took my gap year, I did consider permanently leaving, and also during my gap year, I have considered permanently leaving medicine. In my first and second year of medicine, absolutely not. It was the best thing in the world. And therefore, I think, is it more likely that I have massively grown and massively changed as a person in a year? Or is it just that some things have changed in my life and have changed my perspective? So I don't want to make any rash decisions at the moment, because I remember for so long in my life, I loved it and I thought it was the best thing on earth. I think it's good to question everything, and I do question everything. It's not as though I'm completely 100% secure in everything that I want and I'm just questioning medicine. I question everything in my life, and obviously staying in medicine is one of those things. I think at the moment, no, I wouldn't want to permanently leave medicine, but equally, if I do, it's not the end of the world. I think yeah, I'm proud of what I've already done in medicine, and I'm very happy, and I admire the things that I've learned and the experiences I've had. So I don't need to continue them in order to feel accomplished in any sort of way, but I would definitely love to. So yeah. Are you vegetarian? No, I'm not. I've been vegetarian in the past, vegan in the past, carnivore for a while in the past. At the moment, I don't have any restrictions on my diet, so I eat everything. And I think maybe what I would like to do is consume a bit less meat for environmental reasons. And so sometimes I'm accidentally vegan for a day or a few days, which is fine. Sheen doesn't like it that much, but that's okay. I think, yeah, I'm not vegetarian. I don't know if I would ever go fully vegetarian. I do love the taste of meat so much. So yeah, I don't know. I'm happy to be convinced either way. So yeah. Did you attend any New Year's Eve party? No, I was alone in bed, feeling quite unwell because I had my vaccine booster and I had a lot of fever and headache, so no. Why do you always wear black? You look so similar to your mom. That's amazing. Do I? Yeah, I think my mom is a lot more beautiful than me. I always wear black because there's a lot. I have a full video on all the reasons that I almost wear black. In short, I think it's much more comfortable. It's very reassuring for me and it feels like a very safe color. It's not distracting at all, so I just feel invisible, and I put clothes on and I forget about them throughout the day, which is very helpful. And I make a lot less choices. It's easier to shop because I hate shopping. So I have a bunch of reasons. There's a full video if you want to check it out. But yeah, collab videos with Faye, Karma Medic, or Journey to Med. I actually accidentally deleted a Journey to Med collaboration that we did, which is awful because that's one less video. But yeah, I would love to. Definitely. Well, we should organize all that. Reading goals for the new year. No goals. I just hope that I find some cool books to read and some educational things. But yeah, no goals for the year. I'm okay with sticking to reading. I do it for fun, and I'm okay with sticking to it for fun, so it's good. How many hours do you sleep on a regular night? Oh, this is one thing I like from leaving medicine, is that I get a lot more regular sleep. So I do tend to do around 8 to 9 hours a night, mostly because I don't have any restrictions from when I need to wake up generally. I tend to book my meetings like after 9, after 10. So no matter when I sleep, I can usually get a decent amount of sleep. So yeah, rarely I will get 5 or 6 hours if I'm just obsessed with a book or something, but most of the time I will get my 8 hours of sleep. Would you consider doing one-to-one coaching or being a personal assistant for someone else? Yeah, definitely. I have done one-on-one coaching. I did really enjoy it. Being a personal assistant for someone else, if it were someone that I really admired and they had amazing skills or had an amazing business or setup or something that I would love to see the inside of course I would tell them that. So if we both knew that this was the reason that I was being their personal assistant, hell yeah, I would definitely do it. It's such a good way to get access to levels in a company or in a person's life that you would never get to otherwise. So it's a really good skill, I think. A really good job to have for that reason. So yeah, would definitely consider it. It's not on my priority list. I'm not actively looking to be someone's assistant, but I would consider it. How do you deal with your insecurities? That's such a deep question. So I think this is such a good one. I wish I could do a full video on this. Okay, I might go on a little rant here, so feel free to skip ahead. But basically, I think that whenever you have problematic reactions or problematic behaviors or strong feelings or out of proportion reactions to something in life where you think, oh, whoa, someone else in this position would not have been as hurt as I am right now, as angry as I am right now, as frustrated as I am right now. I think there is something to delve into deeper there. And often, at least in my case, when I have pressed upon that, it tends to lead to an insecurity of mine. And when I discover that insecurity, it can either be through these reactions in my own life, which I can sometimes do myself, or in therapy, we can just press upon things and it comes down to certain beliefs that we potentially hold about ourselves that are just not true. So a thought of, I am essentially an unlovable person, or I am essentially a ugly person, or I am essentially a selfish person, or I'm essentially an angry person, or a mean person, or I don't deserve good things, or I need to be punished. So these sort of insecurities can lead to kind of problematic thought patterns and therefore problematic behaviors in life. And I think identifying them is so helpful, because then if you are willing, you can kind of expand on those things. So if we just go to a belief of, I am not a smart person, and if we just press onto that, what are the things in our life? Why do we hold this belief? Who has said this to us? What situations have confirmed this belief? But also on the other end, how do we judge other people? Because very often most of us will have very different standards for ourselves and for others. I'm definitely in this group. Recently I realized I'm not proud of anything I've done, but I'm so proud of people around me and what they do. So I think that when we see that there is this huge mismatch, it's kind of valuable to go in and think, well, why do I feel this way? And why do I have this strong belief? And is this belief actually true? Because chances are it's probably not a true belief. And then we can expand on that a bit more and think, okay, how can we equal the way that I view myself with the way that I view the world? And what are some kind of counter arguments towards this very strong belief that I have? Can I ask people in my life about this? Can I ask people, well, am I smart? Do you think I'm smart? And of course, this needs to be people that you trust, not people who know you. That would be a very helpful way to do it. I think realizing that an insecurity comes from a sort of a disfigured view of yourself that is not actually true. And I think bringing that as close as possible to reality and thinking, well, then what is reality? Is this what I think about other people? Is this what people that I trust think about me? And as matching these two with one another, I think can kind of get rid of that distorted view of ourselves that we have. So yeah, that's how I deal with my insecurities. I do a lot of work on them. I've done a lot of CBT on them. I still am doing a lot of CBT on them. So yeah, I would definitely recommend working on this. It's amazing. To lighten up the mood now, my favorite chocolate is Karl Pfizer, the blue one. It's just so amazing. Does your necklace have a special story meaning? Yes, it does. So the necklace I'm wearing now, you're probably not going to be able to see it there. So this necklace is just like a very small, thin white gold necklace with a little tiny diamond on it. I got this when I finally could come to medical school after 3 years of waiting. So yeah, that's the story of the necklace, and I think it's part of the minimalism thing that I don't change it. I don't have another one. I just keep this on me all the time. As a minimalist, what are your favorite items of 2021? You know, to be honest, I did think long and hard about doing a video on this, and I could come up with literally nothing. The only thing on that list for me was tickets to see people. That was the only thing that I liked buying in 2021. Everything else has been something I've consumed. So either like food or experiences, and yeah, definitely nothing physical, I think, for me, which yeah, it makes sense. I'm not surprised by that. How do you read so much and so fast? I just love to do it. I have a video on kind of skills and ways that I've made things faster for myself, but genuinely it's just been a passion for reading. And when I enjoy things, I don't need to try hard to do them more or to do them faster or to enjoy them more. So it's just been, I'm just lucky that I'm passionate about this, I guess, if you want to call it luck. But yeah, that's the answer. How do you keep yourself motivated? I'm a very excitable person. It does not take me a lot to be extremely excited about things and to want to do things. So I don't struggle with motivation. There are days where I feel like, oh, I'm just so tired, I don't want to do anything. But I think if I struggle with motivation, when have I struggled with motivation? It's very temporary for me. I'll struggle with motivation for maybe a few hours or a day, at most 2-3 days, but then I'll get very, very easily excited about something else. So I'm very easily excitable. I think that's the thing for me. Some things will very quickly get me like, oh, I want to do that. Let's do it now. So I think for that reason, I don't generally struggle with motivation a lot. That sounds awful. Maybe some specific, if I don't find something exciting, that's the only case. So maybe sometimes university essays or things like that, I just don't want to do this thing so bad. In that case, I do struggle with motivation, and then what I do is make it a bit more challenging for myself. So I'll say, oh, how about you read these 3 books around this essay topic, and then you write the essay based on those. So it can be a bit more fun and engaging for me. I think I struggle with motivation when I'm bored of something not being engaging enough, in which case I'll just make it a lot harder. But if something is hard to start with, I do find it motivational. If it's way too difficult, I will then break it down. So I try to bring everything to this sweet medium of like, oh, I can't wait to do this right now, either by making things a bit harder or by making things a bit easier. What do you think is the biggest thing a small creator can do in 2022? Oh, I don't think this is year dependent. I'm not a believer in kind of there being one thing that you should do or can do, or hacks or shortcuts or things like this to achieve your goals. I think it depends, really. If we had a one-on-one chat, we could have a consultation around kind of what your goals are for YouTube. What are your skills? What's the market? How can you do some kind of like market research and things like that? I would say it depends. Do you want to have fun, or do you want to grow a business? If you want to grow your numbers, do some market research, see what's out there, see what people are interested in, see what they need and how you can provide that in a unique and useful way, and kind of lean into those skills is what I would say. Target search. That's some things that you could do to grow as a small creator, especially when there's no one there and it's still crickets. Market research will help a lot. And I think, but on the other end, if all you want to do to, as a small creator, is just have fun, then I don't think you should worry about this stuff. I mean, yeah, just do what you want and eventually you'll figure it out. So it depends on what your timelines are for your expectations and what you want to achieve. But yeah, that's what I would say. What made you really bond with Sheen? Oh, okay, so Sheen is my baby, my wife. I don't say this, but Sheen is kind of one of the closest people in my life, and we do have a very, very strong bond. I think there's many reasons for this. I think our personalities are extremely different, but our kind of interests are very, very similar. So I think we're kind of in the same direction in life, and we're kind of on the same path and journey together, and we genuinely, I think, care so much about each other that we have a very, very strong bond. In terms of what was the catalyst to this bond, I don't think that's something I can talk about online, but something happened in our lives and we kind of bonded a lot with that. But I think I'm very grateful for that thing happening, because it made us realize just how important the other person is, and kind of value them so much more, and then have the other person in our lives, and yeah, it's just incredible. So I can't say what it was exactly, but it's mostly, I think, life bringing us together at a very good time, and us having just gelling really well, I think, in terms of our personalities. So yeah. How do you prepare for med interviews? I'm going to Bart's next week. Oh, lots of luck. You might have had the interview already, actually, so hope it went well. I have a video on this that I did way back in the beginning of my channel. I think practice. There's so many resources out there, YouTube videos, the student room. I was religiously on the student room preparing for my interviews. Have your parents kind of ask you questions and you respond to them. If you have any sort of doctors or medical students in your life, we are happy to talk about this stuff. Come to us. We can give you as much advice as you want. It's so, I know that when you're that age, you're very, very scared to ask kind of older people and other people about things, but we just love talking about medicine if we're in the medical field. So please reach out to anyone you can, like your GP. Ask your GP if you have a meeting with them at some point. It's okay. 2022 is here already and COVID is still out there. How do you plan to take care of your mental health? Great question. I think that I have now these safe coping mechanisms. I know that I have exercises I can do if I'm feeling extremely down. I know I have people I can reach out to as soon as possible if I'm not feeling well. And I know that everything will end and everything will pass. And I trust kind of myself, and I trust that I can get myself through things. I can get myself through everything. So I think I've been through enough with Elizabeth to know that she's going to be fine, and that she can get through anything. So yeah, I think that in that way, no matter how bad things feel in the moment, I know they're going to get better. And I think I've gotten a lot better at getting through things faster than I used to in the past. So things that would take me weeks or months to get over, I can get over in a few hours or even minutes sometimes now, and I'll be like, yeah, sure, let's move. So I think it's just something that comes with experience, a lot of CBT hard work, and a lot of getting to know myself and creating a lot healthier views on myself, on life, and on people around me. So that's basically the way that I approach things. Anyways, I hope this was fun. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video, and thank you for sending questions in if you did. As always, thank you so much for listening to me. If you have any other questions or any other things you want to let me know, please write them in the comments, because I do read all of them. So yeah, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you have a wonderful 2022. Genuinely, I hope it brings you so much happiness, and I'm sending you all loads and loads of love. So yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day. Be kind to yourself and others, and don't believe everything you think. Thanks. Bye.